Moving on to the UAAP, it was a weekend full of thrillers in men's basketball, which featured the first triple overtime game in the Final Four era. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho recaps the results in this report.
It's a nothing start for the Blue Eagles. Nice pass! Madrigal to Akoe.
After 2 decades, UAAP men's basketball returned to the Blue Eagle gym in Ateneo. But it was the UST Growling Tigers who came away with the victory over the home team. The win did not come easy, as the game needed 3 grueling overtime periods before the Tigers came out on top 98-89. The Blue Eagles' legs started to fail them in the final extension and were outscored by the visiting squad 13-4. This is the first triple OT game in the Final Four era in UAAP men's basketball. And like usual for UST, the trio of Nick Caballero, Colin Akoe, and fourth ski Padrigao did most of the damage, combining for 62 points. Akoe also put up 19 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, playing 51 out of 55 possible minutes in this game. Jello Crisostomo was a magic bunot for the Tigers, tallying 18 points and a whopping 17 rebounds.
It was all hard from both teams. I have to give credit also to the players of Ateneo. Both teams, we had players going down already because of fatigue and cramps, but we fought all the way. No one wanted to give up, so it just boiled down really last quarter, the team that would be making shots. It's a character win for us. There's a saying, no great sailor will sail smooth seas. So the team will have to go through this to experience this journey, and hopefully this makes us a better team and a stronger team with the experience that we had tonight.
The Tigers improved to 4-1 in the standings, while the Blue Eagles suffer back-to-back losses after a 4-0 start.
Francisco lines up a 3 and gets it.
Meantime, the NU Bulldogs extend their hot start to the season by surviving their own close fight against the De La Salle Grain Archers, with the Bulldogs up 77-75 in the last 12 seconds. Reinhard Mamoy came up with a clutch steal and drew a foul on Archer star Mike Phillips. Motor Mike fouled out, and the Bulldogs eventually got the win, 82-78. Jake Figueroa was the star for NU again, with 18 points and 8 rebounds. The Bulldogs reclaimed solo first with a 5-1 win-loss record. The Archers sink to 2-3.
Back to a 3-point lead for UP.
As for the UP Fighting Maroons, they escaped their own close call against the FEU Tamaraws, with the Maroons up by just 1 with just under 2 minutes left in the game. Gani Stevens scored on a putback off his own miss to make it a 69-66 game in favor of the defending champs. That would eventually be the final score, as the Maroons defense did its job again in the clutch. Stevens had 14 markers and 9 boards. Harold Alarcon had a team-high 15 markers, along with 6 rebounds and 3 steals. This is the Fighting Maroons' 4th win in a row, slowly burying that dismal 0-2 start to the season. The Tams fall to 1-4.
Zoni to a cutting Oja Rigre, OJ.
And lastly, the Adamson Soaring Falcons snapped their 3-game skid after beating the UE Red Warriors 77-62. The Falcons already had a 20-point lead at halftime, but they found themselves trailing by at the end of the 3rd quarter after the Warriors went on a 33-12 run. The Falcons countered with their own 20-4 explosion in the 4th to settle the score. Ray Allen Torres had 16 points as the Falcons climbed to 2-4 in the standings. The Warriors are still seeking their first win after 5 games.
Battle between 2 undefeated teams headlined another full weekend in UAAP women's basketball. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho returns to give us a rundown of the results.
The UST Growling Tigresses are now the only undefeated team left in the UAAP Season 88 Women's Basketball Tournament. That's after they dealt the Ateneo Blue Eagles their first defeat of the season, 75-66. Kent Pastrana went to work in the 3rd quarter, scoring 9 of her 28 points to help the Tigresses retake the lead after trailing at halftime. The Gilas women guard also had 11 rebounds and 4 steals for an all-around effort. Two-time MVP Casey De La Rosa was limited to just 6 points in this game. her worst performance in 5 games for the Blue Eagles. The Tigresses are now at 4-0 for this season. The Blue Eagles dropped to 4-1. Meanwhile, the defending champions, the NU Lady Bulldogs, buck a slow start once again to take their 3rd win in a row. This time, they pulled away in the 2nd quarter to beat the De La Salle Lady Archers 86-68. The Lady Bulldogs defense held the Lady Archers to just 8 points in the 2nd period. Teen Cayabyab led the way again for the Lady Bulldogs with 18 points and 7 rebounds. The Lady Bulldogs improved to 4-1, while the Lady Archers remain winless in 4 matchups. As for the FEU Lady Tamaraws, they blew out the UP Fighting Maroons. The Lady Tams were already up 18 by halftime and gave the Fighting Maroons no chance to come back for the 94-66 victory. Shamaya Abatayo caught fire from the outside. She finished with 25 points on the back of 6 3-pointers. Amia Espanyol added 19 markers, 9 rebounds and 2 steals. The Lady Tams now carry an even 2-2 win-loss slate, while the Fighting Maroons lose their 3rd game in a row to drop to 2-3. And finally, the Adamson Lady Falcons keep the UE Lady Warriors winless for this season. The Lady Falcons held off a late rally by the Lady Warriors for a 54-43 victory. Cheska Apag once again led the Lady Falcons with 13 points, despite dealing with foul trouble all game. The Lady Falcons now have 2 wins against 3 losses this season.